Speaking of TikTok, let's talk about the thing that keeps TikTok, Reels, and Shorts running. Short form videos. We all watch them. Some of us make them. But what actually makes them work? And to speak on that, we've got Lee, Mr. Video Editor at The Attention Seeker. And so, yeah, obviously, short form content runs the world right now. It has been running the world for like the last, I want to say 5 years. I think like COVID really,
This is life now. It's the future.
it's live.
This is life now.
Live.
We're live.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously, like, it's crazy how, like, every YouTuber has now become, like, a glorified TikToker, and, like,
Legit.
seeing these people that were, like, blowing up on YouTube back in, like, 2012, 13 are now, like, full-on TikTokers
Short form video creators, you know?
that turn their TikToks into YouTube videos, if anything. It's not, like, the opposite way.
Yeah.
They've stopped clipping their YouTube stuff into TikToks.
Yeah.
And so, why do you think that is? What's the movement behind the rise of short-form content?
Let me ask you, viewer. Why are you watching this right now? Why'd you click on it? Like,
Okay.
why? Like, I'm just imagining I'm in this rectangle box that David, the editor, has edited, right?
Yeah.
Why are you watching it? Like, well, like, you could watch so many things. Why'd you click on this one, right?
Yeah.
It's because this video is trying to provide you some sort of value that will help you educate yourself on a certain subject, you know. It's entertainment in a certain way. Maybe
Yep.
you're someone from work watching this video trying to get updated on, like,
Your
you know,
coworkers'
what we're
lives.
what coworkers or what we're talking about, you know.
Yeah.
So many reasons, like,
Yeah.
but it's all to benefit you, you
Yeah.
know.
I
You
have
click on
a-
something because you want to benefit yourself.
I have a couple things that I want to run by you and see. Like, I just want to pick your brains on.
Okay.
So, the first one, or like, what would you say is the most important part of a short form video?
The start.
The hook.
Yeah.
How do you make sure, like, if I'm a guy trying to get into video editing, short form videos specifically, like, what is your piece of advice for nailing down a hook? Like,
You-
what's the best type of hook?
The best type of hook, and well, this goes for different people, right?
Yeah.
But in my opinion, your hook has to be engaging because you're trying to get someone to click on it first and foremost and stay there, right?
Yeah.
So just whatever you do, you just have to make sure that your hook has a piece of information that you're going to give them, right?
Yeah.
Whether that's like, oh my God, or like, you know, throwing a punch, or like,
Yeah.
hooks can be in so many different ways, right? Like, hooks can be audible hooks, like you could say something like, there's no way he said that, or like,
Yeah.
or like, what?
Yeah.
What do you mean you didn't? And then it cuts, you know, like Mr. Beast. Most of his videos start with like flash forwards into the future of like, you know, what's about to happen, right? And it just cuts off just before like the big moment happens, you know? Or he'll start off his videos like, today we're gonna crash a $5 million train, you know, like,
Yeah.
just instantaneously you give the viewer this piece of information that's gonna inform them that this is what they're gonna get out of the video if they watch it, right?
Yeah.
But if you don't provide that at the start, you have no reason why anyone would really stay on your video unless they're your close personal family and friends.
Yeah.
I will watch all videos that you make because we're close, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know, Philip halfway across the world is not going to give a fuck, right?
Shouldn't. Yeah.
He's going to be like, fuck, another one like TikTok popping up on my
Yeah,
feed.
yeah,
I need to get rid
yeah.
of this shit.
I also think it's like short form video has almost like been the cause of the death of intros. Like a lot of videos, you don't. No one says, "Hey guys, welcome back to my TikTok page. Today we're gonna be talking about like."
Yeah,
you know?
no way.
It's just straight like
Yeah, 100% no way.
attention spans are dead, and they
Yeah.
just fucking, you know.
It's because there's just so much more content, man.
Yeah.
Back in the day in YouTube, there was like, there was a lot of content, right? But the content now is flooded, right? Literally, us at the office, we all make a video or two in some form, right?
Yep.
We're a part of this gigantic, growing millions and millions of population of people who are trying to make a name for themselves, right?
Yep.
Well, back in like 2005, there really was only like a small handful niche amount of creators, right?
Yeah.
and there was only one way of doing content. Now you can find content on different apps.
Yeah.
You can find content like different styles. So now it's more of just a race to see who can hold and grab your attention the longest, right?
Yeah.
Which is why it's kind of dangerous sometimes.
Mm.
Like, for example, I saw this guy on TikTok running head first into like 100 pieces of duct tape,
That
right?
that broke his neck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he had a concussion, right?
Little Golo, I think, on TikTok.
Yeah. Crazy, right? The
Yeah,
concept is crazy, but it blew up,
And
right?
you can't not watch it. If you're seeing a person running into 100 layers of duct tape,
It was like 1,000 layers of duct tape, right?
yeah, something
Like as fast as he possibly could, and gave himself a concussion, right?
yeah,
Because he knew that was so crazy, right?
yeah,
If you saw this guy running at full speed for the first 2 seconds of a video, right?
Yeah.
Into what it looks like duct tape, you're going to stay.
yeah. I also
You're
think
not
yeah,
going to stay.
yeah,
You're not
just-
going to be like, oh, next.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to want to see what the fuck happened.
Just on that, I think Instagram has started doing that as well, but Facebook has been doing that for a minute. Where basically, if you go on your homepage right now and you scroll a little bit down, you get like 5 or 6 reels that are short, like that are so small, but they always play. They keep replaying the first 2 videos of the clip,
Oh yeah.
and it's like it's always the like you have to click on it. It's like always the first 2 most engaging seconds of any video you've ever
Yeah,
seen in your life.
it's like
and
there's
you
no
just have
way
to
it
click on
would not keep your attention. Like,
Yeah.
you just have to watch what happens,
Yeah.
right?
On that, the second thing I want to ask you, the idea that like you have to have highly produced videos, because yes, as we've said, there's so many people trying to make videos. So is it worth trying to invest in higher production, or does that not really matter?
Doesn't matter, and it
Okay.
really depends on what you're doing.
Mm.
Because most of the time people are there for the reasons of they're wanting to get some sort of value, right?
Yeah.
And unless you're like a videographer or you're doing like actual essays, like video essays or things like that, right?
Yeah.
Most of the time people are going to want to stay on a video because of its story.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is a really weird analogy, right? But this is how it works for me, right? So my girlfriend at home, I ask her all the time if she wants to watch like a horror movie,
Yeah.
or like Avengers or some shit like that, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, no, like it's just I don't really want to watch that right now. It's just too much for my brain.
Mm.
She would put on like How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah.
She would put on like these family
Comfort
like,
shows.
right?
Yeah.
Or like, you know, Geordie Shore, you know, shit that you can turn off your brain, right?
Yeah.
And in my this is really shallow, right? In my head, I treat like Avengers Endgame, all these like crazy shows, right? Like all things that I like as high production shows, right? Because they have so much layering and meaning and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But not everyone wants that, right?
Yeah.
And you know, Geordie Shore, something you can just like put on the background, like you know, Criminal Minds, you know, things you can turn off your brain.
Yeah.
Is like low production.
Yep.
And that gravitates to the most amount of people because people don't want to work too hard. And I feel like higher production value things requires a lot more effort to consume.
Mm.
I,
It's like a higher barrier.
yeah, like you've like as soon as you like, let's say if you go on a TikTok, right?
Yeah.
And as soon as you see like this color grading, this amazing, you know that this is like some premium shit, right?
Yeah.
So you know that like you're gonna have to like invest way more full
really
power,
pay attention
yeah, full
fully.
power into what's about to happen,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
I don't know. That's just like how
Yeah.
I think about it. You know,
yeah.
I don't know if it's true or not.
Yeah.
I could be
One
like,
other thing I also think about, like, I feel like not enough people do that, or some people do it way too much, but like, almost like rage baiting or like engagement baiting.
at the
So
start.
basically, anything you do in the video, there's constantly like 2 sides in the comments about it,
Yeah.
and those 2 sides are fighting for and against. And I think that is such a way to go about it. Or even if it's like on the more educational side, you could be like, oh, so what do you guys think of this? Let me know in the comments down below. Like, people actually, like, in my head, because I'm just so chronically online, I think, I'm not going to comment. But you open the comments and it's got like 3,000 comments of people commenting, actually, I think they're right. And it's like people going back and forth and people putting their input. And
Yes.
I think there's definitely something in that where, like, it doesn't necessarily have to be rage bait, but you just have to, like, be the director, or like start a conversation
Basically.
within
yeah.
the comment section.
Yeah. Exactly.